All right, let's talk about some financial planning. It isn't just for the wealthy, right? But for anybody looking to take charge of their financial future.
And for today, World Financial Planning Day, Yahoo Finance senior reporter Brooke DePalma joining us with money managing advice. So good morning to you, Brooke. Great to have you here.
Good morning.
Help.
Great to be here.
SOS. It is so true, though, that when you think about financial planning, a financial planner, a lot of folks automatically think this is for the wealthy. But why is it so important to get out of that mindset?
Yeah, quite literally just stop thinking that and just start today. It's so easy to think that it's only for the wealthy, but everyone can really take hold of their financial future. And it's important to think that you can just start in a simple way. You don't necessarily need an financial advisor, although it is recommended. You can just step back and just start by getting organized. So how exactly can you do that? Well, I spoke to multiple financial advisors, and what they had told me was simply just take a look at your cash flow. What is the income that you currently have? What are your expenses? Think essential expenses and those discretionary expenses. So those needs versus those wants. And from there, just start simple, create a budget for yourself and really understand where exactly your money's going before it flows out, it seems like.
Yeah, the needs versus the wants as I shop on Amazon Prime Day.
Right.
And you said set some goals, right? Realistic goals, which can be really daunting for folks who are like, I'll do it eventually. So what's like an easy goal to set?
Yeah, well, the first easy goal to set is think about starting really small. So create an emergency fund that's only about $500 to $1,000. Now, the recommended is 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. So think about how much does it cost you to get to work? How much does it cost you to live your life, to pay rent, pay your bills, and the cost to put food on the table for your family. So that 3 to 6 months is really, really important, especially you don't know what could happen tomorrow. But then from there, you could start thinking about maybe loftier goals, like paying off that higher interest debt that you have, maybe that credit card that's just been accruing over time. And then once you do those two goals, then you can think about maybe those bigger goals, that aspirational goals like buying a house or perhaps taking on bigger goals as well.
And you also talk about having a really good savings account.
Yeah, so you want to look at high yield savings account. Now, right now, we're seeing some pretty good returns. We're still seeing about 3.4% to about 4.5%. Those are currently in the market. Now, SoFi is an online banking account. It's more non-traditional. There are no physical branches, but you're going to get up to a 4.5% savings return on those savings account right now. But a more traditional, if you want to go that route, Capital One right now is offering about a 3.4% savings account. But I do encourage you, Yahoo Finance has a top 10 list for the month of October, so be sure to check it out.
Yeah, and, and then there's the credit card debt, which is a real problem and real daunting. I was just talking to somebody the other day who was like, I got $10,000 in credit card debt.
Right.
I don't know how to get out of it. So what's your advice to somebody who has the debt and but their expenses don't allow them to pay that down so quickly? Yeah,
well, what you want to be sure to do is, one, realize how much debt you have. So it's good that this person realizes, wow, I'm kind of underwater here. I've got $10,000. You want to be sure to consolidate that debt. Yeah. So be sure not to have multiple credit cards open, perhaps put it into one loan, and then seek out a lower interest rate. So right now, there are some credit cards that have a lower interest rate, but you ultimately want to make sure you're not necessarily extending that loan term. So you're not necessarily extending the amount of time that's going to take you to pay off that debt.
Right.
You know, and I think it's so important that we teach these lessons early, because my kids still, well, my younger one always thinks that, oh, I want this. Can't we just go to the bank and get money? So why is it so important to talk to our kids about this and start them early?
Yeah, well, we're examples for the next generation, right? And when you think about the needs versus the wants, it just seems like money comes out of everywhere. But by building these early on, ultimately, it helps you guys in the end, helps parents and guardians in the end, because then later on, the kids won't come to us seeking out money or perhaps seeking a bailing out later on in life. So it's important to teach them now, the differences between those living expenses, those essential expenses, versus those non-discretionary expenses, things that you don't necessarily have to have. And by teaching them early on, that ultimately allows them later on to perhaps take on that burden, take on some more expenses, and then be able to pay it off.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter still thinks that jelly cats are an essential item to have right now.
They are pretty cute, but not essential there.
Yeah, I know. It's just so much easier to say, sure, I'll buy this for you right now, so you don't have the tantrum in the store.
Right.
And on the flip side, you have the children you take care of, but also a lot of people are responsible for aging parents, which could cost some money as well. So what's your advice there?
Yes, these are really difficult conversations to have, right? And so you want to be sure to think about, okay, what is the cost of care going to look like? What are those end-of-life expenses that your parents ultimately want to have? Do they want to go into assisted living home, or would they prefer to stay at home? And start creating a plan for that. If you can, reach out, maybe create a will, seek out professional advice for that, of course, but also understand what are their Social Security benefits, what are their current insurance, what are the policies that they have, and start creating a budget from them. These are really difficult to have, but there's really important conversations to have right now.
Yeah.
All right, Brooke, great advice. Thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Always good to see you.